Well, hello. My name is Frida White, and I live in Tarkington, but I call Cleveland home. I love Cleveland. And I founded an organization in Cleveland called Operation Refuge. Maybe you've been there. Maybe your mom or your grandma has brought you by our thrift shop, or maybe you've been by the food pantry. And so I love children and I love books. So I'm going to read you this book. It's called Little Red Sleigh, okay? And we'll just see what it says. Let me get it open. In a quiet corner of a cozy Christmas shop, there was a little red sleigh as bright as Christmas morning. She wasn't very big, and she wasn't very fast, and she was very young for a sleigh. See how little she is? But deep inside her strong, sweet heart, Little Red had a big dream. Do you have a dream? Well, Little Sleigh had one. She longed to become Santa's big red sleigh. Oh, that's a big dream, isn't it? Everyone in the shop told Little Red that her dream would never come true. It was impossible. She was too small, she was too slow, and she was much too young. She couldn't fly, they said, so how could she possibly be Santa's sleigh? You know, sometimes people will tell you, you can't do anything, but you need to hold on to your dream. You can. The Lord will help you. Let me see if yeah. Her journey was very difficult. She dragged herself through the mud and the grime. She crossed rickety bridges and braved treacherous paths. Soon she started to worry that she wouldn't make it to the North Pole before Christmas. Then she found some train tracks. "Where are you headed?" asked the friendly train. "The North Pole," said Little Red. "Off to see the big man, huh? Well, climb aboard." "Wow, isn't that good?" puffed the train. So Little Red hopped onto the train and they chugged quickly down the line. "You have so many cars," Little Red said. "I wish I was as big and fast as you." "I wasn't always so big or so fast," said Train. "When I started out, I had just 2 stop cars. I worked up and down these tracks for a long time before they finally gave me a 3rd. Then I earned a 4th and a 5th and so on." "Oh, I can't wait to be as big as you," said Little Red. Train laughed. "Be patient, Little Sleigh. Life builds up 1 car at a time." It does. As they steamed north, the ground gradually changed from softly rolling hills to vast icy mountains. Have you ever seen ice on a mountain? It's cold too. And after many miles, Train slowed down and stopped at a station. "This is as far as I go," he said, "but over that ledge, you'll find Yellow Truck, who can help you go further." "Oh, thank you," said Little Red. As she slid over the hill, she saw a bright yellow truck loaded with Christmas trees. "Hello," said Little Red Sleigh. "Can you show me the way to the North Pole?" "Happy to," Yellow Truck said. "I'm heading that way myself to deliver these Christmas trees to the big man. Hop on." Wow. She got a ride. In the truck, Little Red snuggled between the trees, surrounded by the sweet scent of pine. Yellow Truck drove down a narrow road, rounding curves, dodging holes, and gliding smoothly over bumps. "Wow," said Little Red. "I wish I could drive like you do." "Well now," Yellow Truck said, "I wasn't always so. Used to be, no one thought I could make deliveries. Then one winter, I took a load of trees up north. It was just a few. But the next time I got more trees, then more and more. Life seems to build up 1 tree at a time." That afternoon, Snow began to fall. Ice covered the roads. Yellow trucks' tires slipped and slid. We don't see much snow and ice in Texas, do we? But up north they do. His windshield wipers ran faster, as the snow fell harder and harder. We have to pull over, hollered Yellow Truck. Little Red could barely hear him through the whipping wind. She closed her eyes and held tight. She feared that if she flew off, she would be lost. Then she would never find the North Pole. When they stopped, Little Red carefully opened her eyes. Snow was still swirling, but through it she saw lights twinkling. Red, green, blue, and white. Was this the North Pole? Had they finally made it? Do you see Santa Claus? Asked Little Red. She strained her eyes but could see nothing through the blur of falling snow. I'm sorry, said Yellow Truck. We didn't make it to the North Pole. We'll have to stop here, stay here until the storm lets up. Little Red nestled deep into the bed of Christmas trees, thankful for the shelter. But as she watched the snow pile up, her heart felt heavy. She'd come so far, and it was nearly Christmas. How would she ever get to the North Pole now? Little Red fell asleep sniffling and wishing for Santa. Hang on a minute. Pages sticking together. In the morning, the sun rose high and bright. The storm was over. Happy Christmas Eve, Little Red said. Will we get moving soon to deliver the trees in time? Afraid not, said Yellow Truck. My tires are stuck tight. I can't go anywhere today, but you should take a look at the town. I'll keep an eye on you from here. You never know what you find when you look around someplace new. Well, Little Red thanked Yellow Truck and slid off the trees out of the back and down the street. She hadn't gone very far when a pair of mittened hands suddenly picked her up. Oh, wow, a sleigh! A little girl in a purple parka hugged Little Red to her chest and held on tightly as she ran down the street to the top of the hill. The girl sat on Little Red, and then Little Red was just the right size for the little girl. Look at them playing. See them? They're playing, and she's got the sleigh. Together they flew down the hill again and again, sledding through the snow. When I was a little girl, I used to do that. And we went to a hill called Annabelle's Hill. That's a lot of fun, but it's very cold. Soon other children joined in, and Little Red played all day, helping each child soar through the air, watching their faces light up with joy. This is what it feels like to fly. I'm doing it, said Little Red, and her heart was bursting with pride. At supper time, the girl in the purple parka brought Little Red back home. And when Little Red closed her eyes that night at the end of Christmas Eve, she felt like she was still flying. The next day, on Christmas morning, Little Red woke up and sighed. She hadn't made it to the North Pole. She hadn't met Santa Claus, and now it was too late. Little Red was so disappointed, she started to cry. But then she noticed a small red envelope tucked beside her, and it was addressed to her. See, it says Little Red Sleigh. Well, I wonder where that came from. Dear Little Red, Christmas is a time for giving. Each year, I deliver treasures to children around the world, hoping to bring them joy. But sometimes I need a little help. Yesterday, you delivered Christmas joy to many children. Thank you so much. You made each of those children very happy, and you did it just by being yourself. You are a very special Sleigh, indeed. I could really use someone like you up here in the North Pole. As a special thank you, you're cordially invited to visit me in the North Pole next year as we prepare for the holiday. Merry Christmas. Love, Santa Claus. My, little Red couldn't believe her eyes. The North Pole with Santa Claus. Her dream had come true. Just then, the little girl in the purple parka bounded down the steps. Little Red was ready. At last, she understood what she was meant to do. She would build her life up, spreading joy, one child at a time. Isn't that a good thing? Merry Christmas. The end. Isn't that a good story? Whatever you have, let the Lord help you, and you'll make joy happen